Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Weekend Review from the Sean Yankee Show. I'm Sean from the Sean Yankee Show, the host of the Sean Yankee Show, and I will be hosting tonight's Weekend Review as always. I will be hanging out with you as we watch highlights from the past week on the Sean Yankee Show. I have edited up all of the episodes and picked out some highlights from each night, and we're going to watch them. Now, this is a fantastic opportunity to invite people, get people in, to show them what we do here, to give them an idea what the Sean Yankee Show is all about. It's hard to describe. It's hard to tell people what this show is. It's easier, though, to see it all play out, all 5 themes play out in a row. And that's what the Weekend Review is. We gather every Saturday night, and that's what we do because I want to be able to peep out with you. I like to watch with you guys during the live. So that's what's going to happen tonight. Hey, Lolly. Lolly got first with us here on Facebook. Joan's here. Hey, Joan. Helen the Felon holding down YouTube. Lee's here. Danon. Hey, Ron. Good to see you. Riley Nichols, the silent truther. How are you? You know, I'm thinking about making a trip up to the flower shop pretty soon. So if you'd like to buy some flowers, go flower shopping, let me know. But I am glad to see that you are out of adult jail. You know, Riley spends a lot of time in Facebook jail. She's very interesting to follow. Only thing is, I wouldn't suggest that you do it because by the time you send her a friend request, she will be banned. And sharing is caring. Thank you, Ron. Please do share this. And this is like I said, a really good one to share out. You know, if you're someone that likes this show, that you love our atmosphere and the vibe we have here, and you want to tell people and show people what we have, this is the best one to share because it shows everything. It will include everything that we do, and it's a really good way to invite someone or introduce someone to the show. Hey, Lee. Lee's here on Twitch as well. Thank you, Lee. Lee's here on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So you want to talk about killing it. Lee is killing it. Hey, Carrie. Good to see you. All right. So Ro's here. Hey, Ro. Yeah, Lolly, right? You got to see it. You got to see it. It's hard to describe that we have this family vibe and this, discussion driven atmosphere that, we all feel interactive in and submerged in. It's really hard to describe it. Oh, right on. Sweet. Okay, cool. So it's going to be time to get started in just a little bit. So, like I said, I've clipped up highlights from each night of the week. You got Monday night, we do news. Tuesday night's motivation. Wednesday night, conspiracy theories and chill. Thursday night, rant night. We have rants. And then Friday nights, I usually have a guest. This past week, there was no guest. I was the guest. I had to hang out with you and fill that spot because of a scheduling conflict. But this coming up Friday, Gerard Kinnett Hay is coming on the show. He's been on a few times. He'll be back. That's going to be cool. And we've got a big week coming up this next week. Also, our poll is up for our next video for conspiracy theories and chill. We always use a poll to make our original videos, to pick our topics. And you can go vote in that poll in the Yankee Peeps group on Facebook, the official group of the show on Facebook. I need to get another poll up in the Gab group. We're starting our new presence on Gab. And from Gab TV for our videos and social media for Gab.com. And the reason why is it's a free speech platform with their own servers, and I feel like it's the safest place for my content. Everywhere is taking it down. I'm worried it's going to get pulled from YouTube, so I'm moving everything to Gab TV. You're my guest every night, though. You guys are family. We gather every night and hang out. So you're always on the show. You're a regular. You, for instance, are head of being the baddest ass in the room. That's your official title. Please smash them shits. I will be over there with you in just a little bit, smashing them too, because you have to smash those little bubbles. Look, we all know this, and I'm sure you see it all the time in all the different people you follow. I know a lot of people here like to watch different live streamers, and some of you are live streamers. So you know exactly what I'm talking about, the throttling, the suppression, the censorship. To battle it, you have to do things like that. Smash the buttons, share, comment, invite, get creative, share to different groups. The definition of insanity is to keep repeating the same behavior, expecting different results. We have to get creative. I'm even challenging myself to get creative. I'm joining new groups and trying to share more creatively because, look, there is a computer algorithm that watches everything that we do, tracks and traces and monitors us all the time. You can't beat it, but you gotta make it harder for it. Get a little creative. Show that damn robot that you are not a robot. Let's beat that son of a bitch. Joan says my brother was a great guest. That threw me off a lot. You'll see that probably in the clips from Friday. That was tough. I haven't spoken to my brother in, I'd say, 5 years. And I can get into it if you want. I don't mind. I'm always forthright and honest with you guys. But I got to reach out to him. I'll be honest with you. I don't even know how, but I'm gonna. He was there last night. That was weird. Riley still got an 8th. So what? That's one day of smoking for me. How long does an 8th last you? I'm not talking about going till Monday. My digits? I ain't got no digits. I got a home phone. You gonna call me on that? I never get a phone call, ever. No one has that phone number. I could give it to you. That would be interesting to hear it ring. Ooh, I never use it, but I have it. I am probably going on Monday, like I already said. No, I don't know. I don't know if I am or not. I might, though. I'm thinking about it. I love to drive. All right. So we are going to get started in just a minute. I think it's time. So I'm ready to watch with you guys. I want to hang out. I've got a fatty rolled up, ready to hang out and peep out with y'all. But Lee's right. Please support this show how you can while you can. Help us to grow. Help us to make it to our home, theshawnyankeeshow.com. That's where we're going to be streaming to when we get enough support. If you can become a supporter on Patreon, please do. Even $1 a month to commit to supporting the show and helping us grow is going to get us closer to paying to stream to the website. It's about $180 a month, but it's going to give us freedom and a place to gather where we don't have to worry about censorship or suppression or anything. And it'll be ours. So that's where we're heading. If you can help support that, please do. And then there's many other ways. There's a t-shirt store, merchandise store. You can get all kinds of stuff, coffee mugs, t-shirts, stickers, or you can do a donation. There's ways to do that as well. I would appreciate any support at all. But thanks for bringing that up. I've been trying to get better at doing that little advertisement because this is a real show. I put a ton of work into this. And, there is live streaming. That's great. It's just not what we're doing. We're trying to build an entertainment network. And there's a lot involved. So I got to get better about reminding people to support us if you can. Help us grow so that we can reach these goals. The link is in the description, in the comment, on every platform. In all of them are. I don't know why I always point up, because it's not up. It's more over that way, one way. In the description, every episode, I put every link, and that's where they are every time, all the time. Rose exhausted, and she'll be listening mostly tonight. Still have too much to do before sleep. I will be listening too. Matter of fact, we're getting ready to get started. So without any further ado, let's begin the week in review. I love when I rhyme. I put this little scroll up so that everyone stumbling by realizes this is not live. I've actually had people get mad at me because their comments aren't being put up on the screen during this, because they get upset. They think we're live, but we will be back. I am here, and I will be breaking back in with you somewhere along the middle of the week, and then we'll hang out after the end. But this is the week in review. Let's get started. This is what we need. Tammy's right. Term limits. Look, why in the hell is Turtleneck McConnell still in the Senate? You know, outside of gerrymandering, I know why, gerrymandering and all kinds of manipulation tactics and shit to stay in office. But why is he allowed to stay there so long? Nancy Pelosi, another great example. Many more. Chuck Schumer. Larry did like the news, though. But we disagree on politics. And that's okay, Larry. That's okay. It's just, I have to give you my opinion. And my opinion is that they are a LARP, a con job, a distraction. And that is my opinion. I own that. And I could be proven wrong. And I would love to discuss it with Howie. That would be fantastic. We do guests every Friday night. Kerry says this was a fraudulent election. In this case, they didn't take it up, and they're not finding the truth. They're running from it. Well, you know what my opinion is? My opinion is Trump's lawyers fumbled this shit on purpose. You know, I think that they filed these papers and filed these cases in a way that they knew wouldn't stand up. What do you think about that? I think they sabotaged themselves. I don't think you fuck up that many cases. You know what I mean? I don't think you make little mistakes that is going to get it thrown out that many times in a row. I don't believe in coincidences. Tammy, the For the People Act, HR 1? Yeah. Larry, if you're still here, the Democrats just passed a bill to make sure that they can rig every election in the future. There is no hope for a Howie Hawkins. And so somebody like him, in my opinion, is a crook. And anybody seeking the presidential office, realistically, is power hungry. So Ron's right about that. Tammy said after this election, there is no doubt that all is fake. They don't give a shit about how obvious it is anymore. They don't care one little tiny bit. And Larry's right. Politicians are put there to give you the illusions that you have a choice. You don't. You don't. And Ron's right. Well, we're not. We're going to talk about that more tomorrow night. We aren't. Us in this room. We as a whole unit, as society as a whole, yeah, we're fucked. But us, we're okay. Lee says if he ran for the House, he could become Speaker of the House. Well, right now, wouldn't he have to run as a Dem unless the Republicans take back control of the Senate? Look, I don't know enough about that shit. I just don't see why he would run for Senate, you know? Plus, why do you want to be part of the kangaroo court? Rose's right. I don't even know what that is, but I'm sure she's right. Kerry says he'd do it just to be a thorn in their ass. I get it. I get it. He is the ultimate troll, so it's something I could see him doing. It definitely is. And it would go a long way to making me believe that he really is acting out of compassion for the American people and for the country. You know what I mean? But there is some stuff I wanted to talk about based off the news. Look at this. What do you think of this? So 38% of Americans believe that George Floyd was murdered. Only 38%. That means 62% don't believe that this man was murdered by this police officer, whether they believe he died from fentanyl, which the media is portraying, or that he died from other reasons, I guess. No fault of the officer, basically. Wasn't murdered. 62% of Americans feel that George Floyd wasn't murdered. I know that a large number, I don't know what percent, a large number don't even think that he's dead, that it was all a staged event and completely fake. And that cop right there and the one that's in jail aren't even the same dude. They're different people. That guy looks like an actor from a reality show. But this is all beside the point. 62% of Americans do not agree with charging Derek Chauvin with murder. And Brent said during the news video that he did plead guilty to third degree. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't looked into it. I finished the news at about 4 o'clock, finished recording it, and then finished editing it about 5:30. So if it happened after that, I don't even know about it. But yeah, the propaganda has failed, as this says. It's over. They're just not able to sell it anymore. And anytime you point all the cameras at something, I get suspicious anyway. That just raises red flags for me. I don't know what it does with you. Let me ask you. I want to find out what you think. Do you think George Floyd was murdered? Let me hear from you. Come back over here and check in with you guys. What do you think? No one has said anything. Lisa says, I got the wrong one. Lisa says fake news. George Floyd in general, the whole thing? Lisa does not feel like George Floyd was murdered. Carrie says that the evidence just as easily demonstrates that he died of being a fucking criminal and died because of drug use, although the copper didn't use good judgment. No, he didn't. But they train that little hold. They say they don't, but they do. Because you can look up a lot of pictures from different protests and different situations where cops are using that particular hold. No, this is not bullshit. Michael and Joy says that check out the CDC website. There is a zombie awareness and preparedness guide, an official CDC zombie apocalypse preparedness guide. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble talking today, but it's real. This is real. It's on the CDC. You can go look for yourself. Brett says, now why are we not talking about the fentanyl? I brought up the fentanyl. It was in pill form. Pictures of it on his tongue. You see him take it. I saw him take it. Now, it could have been from the drug. I don't know anything about fentanyl. That's why I really didn't go far into it, but I did mention it. And then I also wanted to mention that they do really train cops to do that shit. Tammy says, what percentage of the U.S. do you think are aware what is going on? How many believe the mainstream media? What percentage do I think of the U.S. believe what's going on? Like fully believe it? I'd say half. I'd have to go half. I almost went lower. It's not as many as you'd think. Like I say over and over, we talk about this every Tuesday pretty much. We have the numbers already. If we would just unite and come together, we could make changes. We could end this insanity right now. All we have to do is come together. We just can't seem to do it. There is a New York lawmaker, and this is something else I want your opinion on. It wants sex ed for kindergartners. Senator Samra Brooke is apparently out of her fucking mind and wants to teach sex ed to kindergarten students. South Park did a whole episode on this shit. This is insane. I want to know what you guys think of this. Sex ed for kindergartners. No? Sex ed for kindergartners? You're damn right. Hell no. Look, what the fuck? Man, look, like I said, South Park did a whole episode on this shit, and Chef laid it down proper. 17. The right age is 17. And sex ed needs to be taught at home by the parents, by someone that you love and respect, not by a school. What the fuck? Why are we trying to pass off shit that we should be doing? Part of raising our children. No, it's not something you teach at school ever, much less fucking kindergarten. You're out of your mind. Nope, 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 nope. Hell no. Aaron says you want to avoid that shit. Homeschool. We shouldn't subject our children to this brainwashing anyway, because all public schools, all of them, everywhere, all the time, are terrible. And he's right. Michael and Joy says they're trying to normalize sex for children. Yeah, not only change their sex, but encourage it. Shaggy and Scooby were the biggest stoners ever. And can you believe that was in a TV show for children? Still is. They're huge stoners. Scooby smacked my fat ass.
And the other dude was a stud.
Fred?
He would fucking, he'd be like, come on, gang, and the chicks would follow him, and Scooby and fucking Shaggy would go off and smoke one somewhere else.
You know who's the real interesting story of the whole group?
Who?
Velma.
Why? She's hot.
Why? She's super hot, by the way. Smoking hot. And then there's more to that story. She's way into Daphne. Oh. And Shaggy, though. She's open-minded. She's not a nerd.
Shit.
Yeah. I don't think you've really thought about.
Well, you got to remember the 60s.
You don't know, because she's got the great mind. She's smart. She's going to be entertaining and fun to be around. And I'm telling you, she's kinky.
She's dressed like the 60s. If you ever watch,
she got a very short skirt on,
Austin
and very
Powers.
tight sweater.
Yeah, like they dress in Austin Powers.
Mm-hmm. She's putting on an act.
The glasses, everybody assumes that the glasses make her a nerd.
Dana says they're probably going to cancel Scooby-Doo because I brought up that they're drug addicts and sex fiends.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, everybody knows it. It's a bunch of teenagers in the prime of their libidos living in a van.
Catching ghosts.
Yeah, catching ghosts.
That shit's racist.
That is fucking racist. Well, everybody wants to be a hero.
So the juice, they say that even with the juice, you still got to social distance. You still got to wear the mask. You still can't go to fucking gatherings. So with the juice, sounds an awful lot like life without the juice. Does it not?
It's exactly like life without the juice.
So why get the juice? You know what I'm saying? There's literally no reason.
There's new protocols from the CDC, actually, speaking of this, about what vaccinated people can and cannot do.
You just said that word. You can't say that word. You got to say juice.
Well, dude, we're going to talk about something later. Like, I now that you brought it up, let's talk about it now. I don't know what to do because I'm not good at this speaking in another language shit.
I know.
I don't know how to baby talk. Like, I just can't do it. Like, I have like a bullshit meter in my head that is blocking it, won't allow it. Like, I try to say cuckoo virus. I noticed Luke from We Are Change says cuckoo virus all the time. He doesn't say, or he said the sickness instead of the virus. He'll say cuckoo sickness, or all this. Never says the real word, and then has a secret uncensored channel on his website where you can say real shit. And I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. I can't function in this. Matter of fact, I just said another word you're not supposed to say, but we're not even on YouTube today. You can't say the F word on YouTube.
Anyway, am I the reason you keep getting kicked off?
Could be.
I say it a lot. It's like part of my repertoire.
I just can't do it, man. I don't know what to do. Really, what we need to do is stream to the website, but we're far away from that. So that's why I'm looking at other shit like podcasting and putting this on iHeartRadio and iTunes. Just getting out of many places as many people as possibly can. I can't be on YouTube, but you know what can? This is something, I picked a nice one to start us off.
You look like lovely, lovely ladies.
Lovely, right?
Right.
Okay, these ladies have something in their butt. And you're supposed to guess what it is. That's what these are. The What's Up My Butt Challenge. These are real. And they're all over YouTube and they're very popular. And they are perfectly okay. Not only is this all over YouTube, it's within their user restrictions. You're allowed to do this.
You know, this is fucking disgusting, man. You know, this is some total fucking bullshit going on right there. And they weren't even wearing masks.
It gets better.
They weren't even wearing masks.
They get better.
They didn't even social distance. Oh, you can. Yeah, I'm good.
What the fuck, man? Like, I can't say the F word. But I could put stuff up my butt all day, and I could get 314,000 views.
They're not even wearing masks.
I'd have a plaque from YouTube on my wall. He's only got one sock on. What the fuck?
No masks. They're not even social distancing. That's some bullshit.
Dude, he's not masked. They're not social distanced. He's only wearing one sock. There's a random box on the floor. What the fuck is in that box and what's going in his butt?
Probably what's going in his butt used to be in that random box.
Oh, yeah, it definitely was. And that's a big box.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big box. There's either multiple items in that box or one very large item going in his butt. And his face is very stern and solid. I have a very hard time guessing.
So it's multiple people that do this. YouTube's already.
Oh no, this is a lot of different. It's a lot of different things.
YouTube's cool with it.
Dude, look, they got a little curtain. He's going to shove stuff in his butt, and you're going to guess what it is.
You know what?
1,525,000 views.
You need to change the name of your show to What's in My Butt.
1,003,200 subscribers.
I'm telling you, that's what we need to do. We'll change the name of the show to the What's in My Butt show.
Dude, he's got a website with merchandise. Free shipping on orders over $20. Dude, kids watch this shit. I was joking at first, but I'm fucking serious. This is allowed on YouTube.
There's porn and shit.
Your kid can't hear about 9/11 from me, but can watch this all day long while you're at work.
Yep.
And it is all over it. How to upload porn to YouTube. Look at that guy. That guy's in for a shocker.
Oh, no.
No, this is crazy. It's crazy. Can you believe that?
No. No, I can't believe that.
What do? I don't know what to do.
You gotta change the name of the show to the Sean Yankee What's in My Butt show. And it'll have nothing to do with butts or nothing, you know. It'll be the same shit, nothing changes. And they'll be like, that's cool. I like this. I like these guys. The morning,
that's perfectly fine to have that on YouTube. That's perfectly fine. You can have that all day long. I could, like Paul said, do a channel like that. I'd have 5 or 6 plaques on my wall because I have a buttery voice. And just imagine the changes in it with different items.
Do the play-by-play.
I'm just saying, it's so ridiculous.
It is. They make fucking money, too, somehow doing that shit. They get monetized.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. No. You do. I had a channel monetized with only 1,500 subscribers. You got 1 million subscribers, you are making money on YouTube. You're getting those videos have ads.
Mm-hmm. Getting ad money.
I'm telling you, that is okay in the contract user agreement. That is okay. Don't cuss though.
I don't know what to think.
Don't you dare cuss because children might be watching.
I wonder if they're swearing in those.
No, they better not, because they'll take them down. They'll get a contract strike. Content strike, my bad.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna research that shit, you're gonna have to watch one. I'm just stating the obvious.
Yeah, I bet it's like Lay's chips. You can't just watch one. I bet you get hooked on that kind of shit.
If you get hooked on that shit, that hell yeah.
When my first "What's Up Your Butt" video drops, you're gonna have to have an intervention.
The Sean Yankee "What's in My Butt" show, and we'll just do the whole show like normal, and then at the end of the show, then that's the time to guess what's in the butt for you. That's the last 5 minutes of the show, you know. And so when it is, you do something, you do a whole show with something in your butt, and then and then at the end of the show, they got to figure out what it is.
But I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit today about fear. You know, we all deal with fear every day. All of us. Even the bravest person that you know feels fear from time to time. Everyone does. It's just a normal part of life. So already everyone is pretty familiar with the idea and the feeling of fear. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I refer to that. Everybody knows what it's like to stop because you're afraid and to give up because you're afraid. So there's something I wanted to say about it though, outside of that. Fear is a lie. It's not real. It's powerful. I know that. And it can seem like it's very, very real. And I know that's true too. But in reality, fear is an illusion that is created by your own imagination of things that might happen. Fear is literally false evidence appearing real. It's a lie. So you build these imaginary scenarios up in your mind and you create all of these obstacles for yourself that don't even really exist yet. Maybe never will, but you let them stop you because you're afraid that they might happen. And fear is just an emotion. It's your mind protecting you from danger, and it's like any other emotion. We're the ones that have made it so powerful. We're the ones that have let it get out of control and become different than all the rest. You know, why can't we value feelings of love or compassion the way we do fear? But what we need to do with fear is learn to process it instead of always just reacting or shying away from it. Embrace it. Embrace the fear. Be brave in the face of fear. Don't seek to never be afraid. Go ahead and feel the fear. You can't stop it. Instead of trying to stop it, seek to conquer and control it. Control the fear. Because remember, it is just a thought. They're just thoughts. And you are in complete control of your own thoughts. Now you imagined a danger. That's all that happened. Could it happen? Will it happen? Is it going to happen? Is the thing that you imagine going to come to be? Maybe. It could. I won't lie to you, but it probably won't. But absolutely nothing can happen if you let the fear of possible dangers stop you from ever moving forward. Because you get one go round on this ride. And time may be relative in the grand scale, but here in reality, it's fucking ticking away. Enough is already against you. Enough is stacked in your way. Don't let your fucking imagination be the thing that in the end keeps you from living the life that you want to live. Don't let pretend scenarios and situations keep you and stop you from living the way you want. Imaginary things. There's enough real things, real obstacles. But there's another thing that we need to talk about a little bit too, that also could be stopping you and holding you back. The other thing you got to do is you got to give yourself permission to be happy. A lot of times you don't think you're worthy of it. I know I've been there. That you're not even worthy to be happy. You deserve to be sad. But you need to learn to value yourself and realize that you do deserve and actually require rewards in this life. Little victories. And it doesn't matter what they are, really. You just need to let yourself win every once in a while. But bottom line, you have got to stop kicking your own ass. Like I said, I was guilty of this. I was really bad about this. I would beat myself up all the time. Just beat the shit out of myself on a regular basis. I had myself convinced that I had no value, no worth. And it's a lie. Because I was afraid. Out of fear, I told myself this lie. Because as hard as it was to be that mean to myself, that brutal, and unbelievably harsh, and to keep everything from myself, it was easier than trying to do anything, than trying to get out of bed. Because at least I could be safe in the comfort that, I just can't do it. Well, I couldn't because I was imagining 50,000 reasons why it wouldn't work. Instead of actually just taking steps and seeing if all this shit that I was making up in my head was real. And that's what you have to do. You have to get up and move forward. Don't let this stuff that may or may not even ever come to be keep you from living. Maybe getting exactly what it is you're wanting. Because you don't think you're worth it. Because you don't think you can have it. Because you don't think you can get it. And you don't think you can deal with it if something went wrong. You gotta learn to love yourself. Don't be afraid to love yourself. A lot of people don't want to let that wall down. Don't want to even let themselves in. You've got to be your own biggest fan. You gotta learn to love yourself. You gotta learn to feel your worth, appreciate yourself. But fear will kick your ass if you let it. You absolutely cannot let it. Ever. Ever. You can't. You're gonna be afraid. Fear is gonna come in and out. It's gonna happen. It's an emotion. You can't eliminate it. But you can control it. You can learn that when you feel this fear, to think about why. What can you learn from this? What can you take away from it? You can't get rid of it. Use it to evaluate your situation. Use it to take a pause. reevaluate, look at things differently, but keep moving forward. And your path will reveal itself because your heart already knows the way. So believe in yourself and fight through the fear. And you can do anything you want. Just don't ever be the thing stopping yourself. I've been there. I couldn't get out. Every day, day after day, for months, years. Stuck. So this Kroger in Chesterfield, Virginia, got caught administering saline shots instead of COVID vaccines. They won't even say how many people they administered the saline shot to. They just say it was a small amount. In the statement to the news, the company says it was an honest mistake. Yeah, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. They went on to say that all impacted customers were contacted and have now received the actual COVID vaccine. And they apologize for this oversight and the inconvenience caused to these customers. Yeah, I'm sure they do. But look, this is just where they got caught doing this. You think this is the only place doing it? You know what? Good. I say if you get a saline shot, you dodged a bullet. You know what I mean? But they're doing this everywhere, of course. Of course they are. They just got caught here. This story made it to the news. This isn't even national news. This won't get coverage. Shooting them up with saline. I just thought that was very interesting. And then, did you guys see this? Biden did a public appearance. By the way, he has not spoken to the press, had a press conference since he's taken office, taking questions from the media since taking office. That's very, very, very strange. But he made a public appearance at a hardware store. And his handlers would not let him speak to anyone. They were rushing him out the door from the moment he walked in it, and he looked lost. I think they are making sure that he doesn't talk. They don't want him to speak to anyone, not just reporters, anyone. They don't even want to have to take him out in public. Matter of fact, they're probably in love with the fact that he's now wearing 2 masks, so that if he does talk, there's a good chance no one will hear what he mumbles. They don't want anybody to hear anything that Joe Biden has to say. Joe Biden can't string a sentence together. And shit, he might accidentally say something he's not supposed to. And then there's this. So they've passed it. You know, now all that's got to happen is Biden's got to sign it. And we'll be rich, you know, if you believe. What paper was it? Someone tell me. I can't see you right now, but correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a major newspaper. Was acting like Biden had ended poverty with this $1,400. This was going to solve every problem in the world. This is not going to make a big difference for anybody, no more than the $1,800 that you got from President Trump. But again, it is a fucking heist. And this thing couples with HR 1. HR 1 and this COVID relief go hand in hand in the Dems' big vote buying bonanza. They're rigging up future elections. They're buying off all kinds of different groups. There's all kinds of hidden money in this thing. It's unreal. Not even half of it goes to the American people. This is not a relief bill in the first place. None of them were. I'm not saying that Trump's weren't heists as well. They were. But this one, they're acting like Biden has ended all of our problems, solved every issue. You know, Kamala is the one taking phone calls with foreign leaders. She's now taken another solo call with a foreign leader. I'm sure being treated as the president. Jones says that Jill did a press conference yesterday. Yeah, how many press conferences did Melania do? I don't remember. How many times did she speak for President Trump? I forgot. All of the signs are also in place that we're getting ready to move into major war in the Middle East, specifically with Iran, but not just Iran. This has been happening for 20-something years. And General Wesley Clark, again, this is public information, came out and said that right after 9/11, he was going through the Pentagon and was called into someone's office, and they showed him a plan for 7 wars, and they planned to do it in 5 years. Now, due to public resistance and a big way, I think, us spreading truth and raising information and helping people to become aware of this shit, they haven't been able to garner the public consent as quickly, and it's taken them a lot longer. But I think it's about to climax. You know, Albert Pike, long time ago, wrote their plan out for 3 world wars. And we have been in World War III for a long time, at least 20 years, if not longer. It's a silent war. It's a different kind of war. It's a psychological war. It's a spiritual war. It's the end game war. This is their final march. I don't like her voice either. I don't like hearing her talk. You are getting ready to get your first female president. It's just a matter of time. A war of the mind. Yeah. And this plan has been in place forever. Forever. And look, that video was on the nail, because many of you, me, myself included, have submerged ourselves in exactly this for a very long period of time. However long you've been awake and looking and researching and doing this for yourself, you've known this shit. And once you've known it, you could never unsee it. So now that you're seeing the end game play out, you know how it plays out. It's planned. And the plan is in the open. So there's no crystal ball needed. Riley says, give me control over a nation's currency, and I care not who makes its laws. That's a quote from one of the string pullers, one of the owners, true rulers of our world. I do too. I'm going to be really, really sad when they take away the internet. You don't understand. Like, it's going to break my world. It's going to really upset me. The first thing I wanted to start with is, you know how you're not allowed to mention anything to do with the, you see how I don't even know what to say? I'm trying to learn. I'm going to try to learn. It frustrates me that I need to learn, but I'm going to try to learn how to avoid saying these algorithm triggering keywords. You know, I should have thought of something I wanted to call it before. I didn't realize how hard this was going to be. It's bullshit. First off, while I think of something to call it, let's just talk about how much bullshit it is that grown adults have to sit here and try to figure out what do we call the thing that's affecting fucking literally everybody right now, and everything is being done in the name of that we're not allowed to talk about, so that everybody knows what the fuck we're talking about and understands and can follow along. And that's why they do it. That's why they do it. So, do I even want to play ball? I mean, I guess I have to. I got 2 YouTube channels. One of them is on its final strike. I get one more strike in the next 90 days and they wipe the whole thing, take it down. The other one is on 1 strike currently. We just got out of YouTube jail and we just got hit with a copyright strike from last night's episode. It's not one of those ones where they throw you in YouTube jail and strike your channel where you only get 3 of, but it's still a copyright strike. I get those all the time. It's censorship on a massive scale, but you're not allowed to talk about the sickness. Let's go with that. Luke from We Are Change, I watch a lot of that. He always calls it the sickness. He gets away with that. So let's try that. So you're not supposed to talk about it. But the CDC just may get themselves banned from social media because they're spreading information about masks and lockdowns, and their statistics are going against the narrative, and you're not allowed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. Matter of fact, they released some statistics that the real impact of masks on the growth of the sickness is potentially much lower than 1.32%. That's how effective it is. I don't care which one you got. The N95, top of the line, or a fancy colored one with a smile on it. Whatever you got, it's not effective. It's not doing anything. It's actually most likely making you sick. But from them, the CDC, it is less than 1% effective. It does nothing. And then they released a lot of other data. An interesting chart as well about the flu and sickness. And when they intersect, and when one seems to go away, the other one goes up. Now, they just might lose their social media accounts over this. Anybody pays, but that's the thing. That's the thing. That's how we got trapped in all this nonsense to begin with anyway, and how all this is able to happen is because most people don't pay any attention. Because the articles, the way the media is pushing these stories, whenever it's even told, the CDC releases numbers about the effectiveness of masks. No one's going to read the article. No one's going to get to the very, very bottom where they've hidden 1.32%, potentially lower than. But yet I got to wear one still. Every day at work. Stupid mask all the time. And you know why? Because corporations will enforce it. That's who will enforce it now. Corporations. 16 states are now open. Mask mandates are going away all over the place. But corporations will keep it going. So you can fight back against that. This all stops when we decide to take off the mask. When we quit playing along. That's how it ends. But again, if you're pro-data and pro-reason, and you look at these numbers that they've released, official numbers, throughout this entire thing, I've never had to use anything from any weird source. People always give you shit. Like, where do you do your research at? Fucking CDC. Go right to their site and look at their information. You want to learn about the safety of masks? Go to OSHA's site. Read about the safety of masks. You can do all this on your own. You just refuse to. And you only listen to what comes out of the TV. It's all there, and you don't have to look anywhere weird. They're telling you. They've been telling you all along. And now even Fauci's come out. And I don't like Fauci. I mention him a lot only because they love him. Brad Pitt is getting ready to play him. He is a media darling. They can't get enough Dr. Fauci. Well, he's coming out openly saying that they just don't even know what the hell they're doing, and they're just going with their gut. You know, these lockdowns, and there's a lot of experts. There was an article from Stanford, or a study from Stanford that came out about how these have been 100 times deadlier than if there hadn't been any lockdowns at all. That they did a lot of harm by handling things the way that they've done. Not only the obvious harm that they've done by their mismanagement of the whole thing, you know, whether you want to talk about Cuomo and you know, how he handled New York, or any of the governors that took their example from him, and all the things that were done with lockdowns and everything, that the effect it had on the economy and regular people, just health-wise, mentally, all kinds of different ways. It's dangerous what happened. You know, suicides even went up from isolation. This was not based on science, is what he's telling you. He's coming right out and telling you. His exact words were, when you don't have the data and you don't have the actual evidence, then you've got to make a judgment call. And then, wouldn't you know it, last April, in the Washington Post, Josh Rogan had written an article that revealed that in January of 2018, the U.S. Embassy in Beijing took the unusual step of repeatedly sending U.S. science diplomats to the Wuhan Institute of Virology, and subsequently sent 2 official warnings back to Washington about inadequate safety at the lab. And now, Josh Rogan has come out with a book. It's called Chaos Under Heaven, and where he offers a view of the evidence implicating the Wuhan Institute of Virology in the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, Fauci was funding heavily through his organization, the National Institutes of Health, which he headed, had a number of projects that involved the Wuhan lab, specifically with their work on bats and gain of function research on coronaviruses. This exact situation was what he was funding, his organization. And nothing's changed. If you connect the dots and apply just a little logic, the fact that the sickness most likely developed where they were funding the research for it is pretty overwhelming. You know, and then, like Paul was saying, they're talking about also how they were doing a manipulation of SARS, studies of manipulating SARS, and gain of function on that as well, which that just means making it stronger, making it more powerful. Well, the likelihood of the sickness escaping from the lab where they were actually doing the research on it that they themselves, it's now coming out, said was inadequate. The safety measures at the lab were inadequate. It's just, it's I don't understand. That's what it is. I'm blown away. You know, last night we watched the video that I made at the very, very beginning of all this about Event 201 and different things like that. They were funding this. They knew about it. See, exactly. And that's when it ends. That's what puts a stop to it. They'll defend it. They'll fight to defend it. You've seen it. We've all dealt with it. I see your names in this room. We've all dealt with it all the time. They will fight to the end, and they will squeal on you. Oh, man, they can't wait. They're going to sign up to be contact tracers and narc on us. They're our enemies at this point, many of them. It's really sad. Well, everybody is rich now. Biden signed the American Rescue Plan. Don't you just love the way they name this shit? The American Rescue Plan. Not even half this money goes to Americans. And that's if you include the amount, which is larger than the amount that goes to Americans, that goes to state and local governments. If you include that, you still don't even get to half of this money. It's crazy. But anyways, Biden signed it today. I don't know how soon we'll be getting some checks, but we'll be getting some checks. You know, Johnny Cash is awesome. Most of us are shadow banned. Most of the people in this room, the names that I see here, they are truthers, every one of them. And you guys, I know, all deal with it. Matter of fact, Helen the Felon is banned from Facebook, cannot be on Facebook, is stuck on YouTube. That's where she dwells now. She holds down YouTube now because she can't have a Facebook account. Jeremy says, search your feelings. You know it to be true. I know it to be true. I'm like 98% sure that's my brother. But let's see. First thing I wanted to talk to y'all about and get the conversation going, see what you think, is Minneapolis has decided, the city council voted, and they decided to settle with George Floyd's family. They're going to get $27 million from the city of Minneapolis. $27 million payout. I don't know what they were going for in court. I'm not sure, but the city decided that they needed to go ahead and settle. And the family is getting a $27 million payout. So I wanted to see what y'all thought about that. As you know, the the officer on trial for the murder of George Floyd, they don't even know that they're going to be able to get a conviction. Matter of fact, they're talking about a lesser sentence so that they can get a conviction, so that he doesn't get off, because they don't think they can get what they were going for. And they want to knock it down a little bit. But we think, and we're talking about the other day, that this is going to cause a shitstorm basically this summer. You know, this is all brewing to a climax. But what do you think this $27 million payoff does to that? What does that do you think? Anything? Do you think the media talks about this at all? That this affects the public perception of the George Floyd incident at all? Because, you know, only 38% of people actually even believe that George Floyd was murdered. You know, a large percentage don't believe he's dead at all. And an even larger percentage believe that he died of other causes, specifically a drug overdose. Yeah, free Helen the felon. Let Helen come back to Facebook and hang out with us. We all miss her. But if you want to see her, you just get over there to YouTube and hang out with her. We're on the sister channel on YouTube. We can't be on our main channel because we're in trouble. We're on 2 strikes. And I'm in the process of moving all of our videos, by the way. I'm moving every one of our videos over to Gab TV. And when I get them all moved, then we won't have to worry about it anymore. But this is going to be the new home of the videos. I'm going to put the link in the description or the comments of everywhere we're at right now. Check this out. This is where our videos are going to hub out of now. I'm going to get them all over there so they'll be secure, and because they don't censor and they don't take anything down or anything like that. It's a free speech platform, Gab. So I think they're safe there, and they have their own servers. So until we can hub out of the website itself, which is our ultimate goal, to stream directly to the SeanYankeeShow.com, until we get there, until we get enough support to reach that level, we're going to hub out of Gab TV. So check that out. And yes, I can see you, Tony. And let me say hi to Robert and Ruth that have come in since we started. But what do y'all think about this $27 million? Ron says, here's $27 million. Now shut up and go away money. Of course, that's what it is. But that's not what's going to happen. That's not what they'll do. You know, at the very least, it's $27 million to save face in the public space. That's what it is. They're just trying to buy $27 million worth of PR with the city of Minneapolis. But why are you doing that when only 38% of people even believe that George Floyd was murdered? You know what I mean? I would think you would need a majority of people to believe that the police murdered him in order to justify a $27 million payout. But Aaron asks, where's all the media riot coverage? Global news about standing up against this tyrannical global agenda. They use key media only to manipulate us. There is no such thing as honest journalism. Matter of fact, the most shining example we have currently of a real journalist is sitting in a prison cell awaiting extradition to the United States for journalism. Isn't that awesome? Let's talk about Julian Assange for just a little bit, just because it came up, and shit, we should bring this up once per episode. There's a few topics we really should talk about as often as we possibly can. This is one. This is something that we, the people, are directly responsible for. Everything that happens to him is our fault and our responsibility. We need to take personal ownership of this. People don't like that, but we have to, because nobody's coming to save Julian Assange. We have to do it with public outrage and support. Can't let this happen. It's already too much has gone on with this. Cannot let this man be persecuted. Cannot let this man be taken down. We cannot stand for this. You know, we need to have public outpouring of support in a huge, monumental way to save this man. We need to start organizing it. You know, if that's what it takes as leaders, let's do it. Let's be the leaders. Let's get this done. Let's make sure that those in power understand that we, the people, do not support the persecution of Julian Assange and will not stand for it. That's the most important thing. Make sure they know that we will not stand for it. We need to start reminding them on as many issues as we possibly can that they work for us, not the other way around. They forget that. And this is against the public interest directly and is a direct attack and our freedoms and liberties. We must protect and defend the truth, and we must stand up for Julian Assange. If we allow him to be persecuted for journalism, we can't expect for there to ever be any. Nobody can see Tony? What? Tony's here, I assure you. I saw him. I'm going to prove it. Oh. Nope, there he is. Tony Smith. I can see you, Tony. So anything that you say, I can put up on the screen. I see you. So don't worry about it. If the other people can't see you, you comment away. And if I see something, I'll put it up there. Rose says Tony's blocked. Blocked from here or blocked from Facebook? We didn't block him. Yeah, Lolly had to do a hard shutdown on Facebook. Facebook's fucking the feed, I guess. I don't know. That was an unnecessary F-bomb. It was your fault, Lolly. You had that F-bomb in your comment. Lisa says, protests start again tomorrow in Louisville for Breonna Taylor here in Kentucky. Speaking of, the Kentucky Senate passed a bill to criminalize protesters who insult police. How do y'all feel about this? So it is now illegal to insult police officers in Kentucky at a protest. I'm not okay with this. And it has nothing to do with pro-police or anything like that. It has to do with speech. Free speech. I don't think that's okay. Insult? No, that's not all right. In my opinion. I'd love to hear yours, though. Please tell me what you think. But it's now illegal to insult police officers in Kentucky. Zuckerberg says that Facebook is building a machine that can read your thoughts. How do you feel about this? People will line up for this shit. That's what's scary about it. That's what's really, really frightening about the whole thing. Can you imagine clicking yes on this user agreement? Like, fuck it, it's going to be so cool, man. I can meme from my brain. Yeah. Yeah. What kind of things you think they'll be sending into your brain? That's one thing I don't hear people talk about very much. I hear people say a lot of things about what they'll be able to have access to and the things that they'll be able to learn about you and the information that they'll gather. But what do you think they'll put in? Why wouldn't they put stuff in? Why wouldn't they manipulate and fuck with you? They had access to your brain. Can you believe this is even something people would entertain? This is something they're begging for, though. They would love this shit. And Zuckerbuck's wanting to deliver. All right. All right, y'all. How you doing? That was the week in review. So that's what we do on Saturday nights is we watch back highlights of the week. I edit it up so that we can share it out and help everybody get an understanding of what it is we do here, what this show is like, and what it's all about. Michael and Joy says he's still blocked off the main account. I do not have you blocked. I swear on everything. I have forgotten to friend request you. Send me one. I never remember to do stuff. I'll try, though. I'll try to remember to do it after the show. But I swear to you, you are not on my block list. But you're right. I cannot interact with your comments. Are you sure that you didn't get mad and block me at one point, maybe? I would just check. It's possible. I'm quite a troll. I may have offended you. Ron says every time I comment on someone's post, I see an algorithm, then my name pops up. It's weird. Does that happen in other people's feeds? I don't notice that it happens to me in other people's feeds. It's very weird. Is it exclusive to my show? Because I've noticed it too. I'll feel a lot better when I don't have the light on, Danon. And look, you're not the one that was supposed to get mad at me. It was Joan. I was trying, look, I just wanted to hang out. So I was like, okay, once I put the hat on, I feel like I'm being serious. And I was like, well, if I put the glasses on, I have to be 100% serious. And I wanted to just hang out. Facebook doesn't like that Michael and Joy talks about the Bible. Let me tell you where you can do that all you want. Gab.com. I'm telling you, man, let it go. Let it go. You know, Facebook is a dying platform. Come with us to Gab and find me on Gab at TSYS. And then check out my channel on Gab TV. All of our videos are going to be on Gab TV now. It only happens to me on this show too. Now I go to a couple other live streams, pretty regular. It doesn't happen there. These are all truthers as well. But let me ask you this. If Lolly's still here, did this happen with the little numbers before it posts your name when you comment? Did that happen before we got restricted? Because our both groups on our page on Facebook are restricted. And our channel, the page itself, rather, is about to be taken down at any given time. They've told us and warned us that they'll pull it at any given time. So I already set up a backup channel at TSYS on Facebook as well, just in case. But yeah, they're going to shut everything down. This is my prize. This is my little payoff for the week. And getting to hang out with you guys. I had a great time. I enjoy the week in review and hanging out with y'all. I was out in the car, hotboxing the car, and watching the week in review. And I think it was a perfect length. You know, at first I was like, man, it's kind of short because I only took about 10 minutes from each day, 10, 15 minutes, and then the morning yank. But it was kind of perfect though, too. You know, you don't want it to be too long. And it really does encompass what the show's about. I like that. So I'll be uploading that to Gab if you want to see it by itself, or if you just want to share it out to somebody. If you want to tell somebody, hey, you guys see what we do here. You guys see what this show's about. That's a good thing to show them because it gives them a real good summary of a whole week. See, look, I didn't think so either. So let me ask you this. I've been thinking about abandoning the page, but I don't want to, man. You know how long it took to get to 1,700 followers? A long ass time. As suppressed and throttled as we are, to get over 1,000 page likes took forever. Because I earned every one of them. I didn't buy them. You know, we earned them the hard way. I'd hate to do that. I would hate to do that. But I hate starting over. I don't like change. I wish that Gab would get streaming going. Hey, Ro, I appreciate you telling me what crack was like. And I love that you gave me an honest answer. You know what I mean? I understand that it's not something you ever want to do again, but most people wouldn't answer honestly. If, when they say that I smoked crack and you ask them what it's like, oh, it's terrible. Bullshit. You didn't fuck up your whole life over something that was terrible. I want to know how fucking awesome it was. I want to hear about it, the truth. And that's why I asked specifically the first time, because you're never going to get back there again. Isn't that what they say? You're forever chasing the dragon. You're never going to get that first high ever again. Is that true? If I was going to ask a follow-up question, that would be what it is. But look, I'd like to ask somebody that's done heroin, if they would be honest with me, what it's like, what it felt like. I'd love to hear more details because I'm a curious soul, but I'm not brave. I would never do it, but I'd love to hear all about it. Joan says it hasn't been doing it to her that long either. It's not something I noticed. I started noticing it maybe a month ago. It may have been happening longer than that, but it was very weird, and it happens consistently. I don't know. So I think we're being tracked, even more so than they track everyone and everything. I'm setting my clocks back to 1970 or to 1775 when Americans had some balls. I'm going all the way back, taking it back to old school. That's what I think we should do. Let's just go back in time. Let's start over. Hit reset. Hard reset on everything. 2021, the year of the hard reset. Fuck the great reset. Let's have a hard reset and get rid of this evil fucking system. This greed-based, predatory system. So I think Babels is mad at me. Let's talk about this for just a second. I think Babels is mad at me because I think she thinks that I wasn't going to tell her I got stimulated. Biden stimulated me. I don't know if you got stimulated yet, but it's on the way. You're getting ready to get snuck up on by old Joe in the bank account. $1,400, 1,400 big ones coming your way. I got mine. Well, I got home from work today. Babels was sleeping. She was taking a nap. And I didn't bother her. And she got up for work. We were talking. And all of a sudden, the stimulus came up. She was like, I can't believe people already got their stimulus. And I raised my hand. She's like, what, you got yours? I was like, yeah, I got it today. And she's like, well, you weren't going to tell me? I was fucking totally going to tell. Why would I tell you if I wasn't going to tell you? If I was going to keep a secret, I wouldn't have put my hand up. I wouldn't have said it. But I honestly, she left for work without saying goodbye. I was like, I wasn't keeping a secret. If anything, I would have been keeping it secret to get her something cool for her birthday. Babel's birthday's tomorrow. So it's a little premature by, a few hours, but happy birthday. I can't talk today. Happy birthday, Babels. I love you. We're going to go out tomorrow night, have a great time, and thank you for being you. You're awesome. Congratulations on another trip around the sun. And I was totally going to tell you about the fucking stimulus. Oh, I don't know why you got to be mad at me. Joan, I'll do what I want with my clock. Time is relative. It ain't even real. I can set it for whatever I want. I'm setting it all the way back. I'm changing my calendar. I identify as somebody that's not part of this system. That's what I identify as. You will respect it, or I will tell on you. to whoever there is to tell. Well, Joan's right. It is time to fall back, right? Spring forward. No, spring forward. We're springing forward. Yeah. Time to spring forward. So we're getting fucked. We're losing an hour's sleep. Yeah. Isn't that right? Son of a bitch. You know what I used to hate when I worked overnights? I worked at a truck stop. And on the time switch night, you would work an extra hour. You got paid for it. But, it was some bullshit. It was like, it's 12. Now it's 12 again. But yes, happy birthday, Babels. And I think that's the closest that I would ever come to being able to spell it correctly. I never spell it correctly. That just was an organic nickname. We both call each other that. Well, Lee, I care. I'm just kidding. I have no idea what you're even talking about. Spring up and fall back. Oh, right on. She'll be up. She's at work right now. So she'll probably still be up. But we're going to go out tomorrow. I'm going to make a whole day. It's going to be Babel's Day. We're going to do stuff, get her nails did, go out to dinner, whatever she wants, really. It's going to be cool. So that's what we're going to be doing. But thanks for hanging out and watching the week in review with me. I love that, hanging out with y'all. That's fun. I wish I could hang out every night at the show. I mean, I kind of get to because we do a watch party. So that's kind of like it. But a lot of times I'm watching the show. I'm like, man, I would totally rather be over there with y'all. Rose says that statistically heart attacks rise when the time changes. That's weird. Doesn't make any sense, but that's weird. But thanks for watching and hanging out with me tonight, guys. I will see you Monday night with a brand new episode of the Sean Yankee Show. It's Hindsight News Night. And then next week's guest is Gerard Kinye. So come back next Friday for that. Have a great night.